kitchen, my friend bro, seen a used to be circled again. Oh shit, young Scully, why dare not legs me? I'm a that day, that's a 2-man step. Too many man being caught and wet on my life, I don't know why I beef these gems. Don't lack in a day like bucket to gang, you're gonna get wet. Chef, gangs known for attempted M's. Dean Rolf in a Delafoot, put him in a Benz. Don't think your life is sweet like candy. What would you do if you see two Ramses dashing like your?
It gets no better than Salute.
When he's angry, give me the drop on my Rams, I'm rolling. Knock out, like in the darts like boom. Got wet on the maze, no fuss. Should've seen the way that a man them soaked him. Got caught, didn't want involvement. Be still on Snapchat posting. Come right for your guy, you joking. Big 17, but ramen is open. Give me the drop on my Rams, I'm rolling. Knock out, like in the darts like boom. Got wet on the maze, no fuss. Should've seen the way that a man.
We're live. Hi everyone. Hey guys, how are you all doing?
Hi.
We're about to start in a few minutes. Right now you're hearing the Step Back soundtrack, which you can find on Spotify. Okay, so welcome. So today we are here to talk about Step Back, the film. We're going to be speaking to the cast, we're going to be interviewing the cast, and you will also get an opportunity to ask questions. There's also exciting prizes to be won, which I will speak about in a minute. Actually, just to make sure that you stay on, I'm going to talk about this a few times. Leo, tell us what prizes we have on offer tonight.
Okay, hi everyone, hope you're good. So yeah, we've got a couple of prizes today. We've got a pair of football boots for the guys, and we've got a hoodie as well. So I'm going to show you the football boots quickly. Let me go and get them. They're worth about £120, £130. So bear me 1 second.
So I'm going to be asking 2 questions halfway through the interview to win these lovely football boots. And also, what's the second prize, Leo? You're going to hold up the second prize. Have you got it?
I've got it here. It's downstairs.
Okay.
Step Back hoodie. Choice of colors: white, pink, or black.
Yeah, great. Okay, so let's get started. So we are going to start off by, I'm going to be introducing Leo, who you've already heard from, and Richard. So Leo Leo made this happen. So Leo put together this movie. He produced the film, and Richard Kattah, who is the director and the CEO of Little Drops Production. Okay, so Step Back is a film. I hope that you've all seen it. If not, straight after this interview, make sure you check it out. So it is a film that really invokes change on so many different levels, and it really opens the door to so much discussion, reflection for every single person who watches it. The film has been an amazing success, and we're going to be hearing a little bit more about that in a minute. But at the minute, correct me if I'm right here, Leo. So at the minute, we're standing on close to 600,000 views so far. Is that correct?
Yeah, I believe you're right.
Yeah. And
good.
also, it's been officially selected for the UK Seasonal Short Film Festival, which is amazing. So, yeah, we'll hear about that in a minute from Leo. So there's also, as I said, there's going to be an opportunity for you to ask questions at the end. So start thinking about your questions. You can even post those questions right now. I can see Angie's just about to come in, so I'm just letting her in. Welcome, Angie. Yeah, so get your questions ready and start typing them in the chat, and we'll try to answer as many questions as we can at the end. Okay, so I'm going to start off by asking a few questions to Leo, who's the producer. He is the guy that made everything happen. Okay, for those of you who have heard of Leo, maybe you've heard about him, he's got such a heart for young people, and everything that he does with purpose and with excellence. And his purpose is always to impact others. He's been working with young people for over 12 years, and this is his debut film. So, and I'm also going to be introducing Richard Kattah, who is the director of Little Drops Production. So I'm going to start off with these two guys. So first of all, Leo, my first question is to you. So what made you want to produce this movie? And also, how did you come up with the storyline?
Yeah, hey Judith. Hi everyone watching. Thank you so much for logging in and watching. Really means a lot to all of us here. And yeah, this is my debut film, and I'm really overwhelmed by the response. Like Judith said, we're near to 600,000 views, which is amazing. It surpassed anything that I expected for it to be. And you know, I would say that for me, that the inspiration for making the film was when I worked in Feltham Young Offenders Prison. So some of you watching may know Feltham, and you may know people that are in there. And, you know, when I worked there in 2019, I used to tell this story, the step back story. I used to tell it verbally, and I used to kind of act it out in the sessions, in my mentoring sessions. And the response from the young boys in there was amazing. And they were the ones that said to me, you know what, Leo, sir, you should make this into a short film. You should, you know, put it on NYM. They said to me, you should put it on NYM, like I could just put it on there, you know. And I thought to myself, you know what, I'm not sure, but maybe let's see how this thing goes. So yeah, I guess in terms of how the story came to be, I think it really happened for me as I was driving to the prison one morning, and I remember just getting like a download, you know, that came to me, and I just started to speak out this story in the car as I was driving, and all the characters' names started coming out. I remember films like A Case of Benjamin Button, Butterfly Effect. All these kind of things were just going through my mind as I was telling the story. And I thought, wow, how great would it be if the main actor could be doing stuff that I guess is the normal narrative we see, but what if he could go back in time and change his choices, change his decisions? And I just started telling the story. And that same day I went into the prison, told the story, that the response was amazing. And from there, that's when momentum started to build. And then that's when I was able to get in touch with that man, Richard Kattah, who also made this thing happen. So yeah, it's been amazing. It's been amazing.
Thank you, Leo. And that's a great segue, because we're now going to go to Richard. So Richard, you've also directed films like The Power of 10, Yana and Manny. And this is very different to all of those. So what made you take it on?
Hi everyone. And again, hi everyone for joining in. I think with Step Back, the reason why we took it on, it had elements of Armani in it, and I would say it had elements of obviously going back in time and all that kind of stuff. And I think that's what sort of attracted us, because we just thought it was something a little bit different. Because as I was saying to you, my team and just everyone after Armani wanted to just progress and just do something a little bit different. But with Step Back, it had hints of Armani, but it had just the fact that we had to go back in time and everything. It was a little bit different. It was very different. So we just thought, you know, I'd like to explore that. So it had a little bit of sci-fi element to it. So it was something interesting to explore. So that was why we were more than, you know, happy to sort of jump on. Yeah.
Great, thank you. Okay, back to Leo, another question for you. So I believe that you have had no experience in filmmaking, and you're not an actor yourself. You had no money to fund this idea, this project. Plus the filming of this was in between two lockdowns. So if I'm right in saying, it was literally, you managed to get the filming in the week before everything shut down on the second lockdown. So I would say it's a bit of a miracle. So how did you make this happen?
Yeah, it's crazy. Let's go from the beginning. So obviously I'd had a meeting with Richard and Tammy Youssef, who is the writer who wrote the story here, and we sat down together. And actually, no, first it was a video call, right? I forgot, you know, it was a video call. We had a video call. I basically told
it was a video call,
yeah. So I told them the story. They must have thought at first it's the same old narrative, but then I kind of switched up on them, and then at the end they were like, you know what, bro? We love the story. We want to work with you. So that was like a tick already. I was like, thank you, Lord. You know, if I haven't got a production team, I've got nothing, to be honest, because I don't even know what a production team does. Richard would testify. I asked so many questions. You get what I'm saying? So after that, I spoke to Tammy Youssef, and we started to talk about the script. That went back and forth. We met up again. Tammy and Richard, we met up again, and to discuss it a little bit more. And then basically it was just like, okay, finalize the script. But I kind of felt in my heart in March 2020 that it was time to really make some movements with the film. After speaking to Richard, he was like, you know what, bro, listen, we need to start moving, start talking to some people. So I just thought, okay, is this what I do? And I guess he kind of told me, Richard kind of said to me, you know what, you're the producer. And I was like, raw, like what producer? Like, I didn't even know that. Do you get what I'm saying? I'm thinking I'm a producer. Like I'm thinking, wow, like, okay, that's a nice title. I'll take that. So it meant I had some responsibility. It meant that I had some things that I needed to do, quite a few things that I needed to do on my side, like speaking to actors, speaking to key actors like Xavien and Angie Le Mar and Ange-Marcel and Vanessa was able to come to the audition, to the casting. And you know, once I wanted the main guy, right? He's right here. I wanted him, yeah. And I wasn't gonna give up on him. And he'll tell you the story soon. And you know, I knew who I wanted to play the main character. And Richard and I had spoken, and we kind of said, look, we want someone. I particularly wanted someone that was known, that people would know his face, and he was a good actor. And I was on Xavien, and then I was on him, and then Richard was on him, and then we didn't hear back from him. And then it was like, this guy's not good at responding to messages. But we had our meeting. We had our conversation. He'll talk more about that. I had Xavien in the bag. I was like, yes, thank you, Jesus. Like, this is amazing. Like, I've got the main actor now. Everything else can just kind of come to pass. So time moves on, and June, actually on my birthday in June last year, yeah, I put out the GoFundMe page, and that was going well. The GoFundMe, people were putting money towards the film. They understood the objectives behind the film. But then it stopped, and it was like, okay, this is going slow, but I already had it in my heart that I want to do this film in 2020. Like, there's nothing that's going to stop this. I need to figure out who I've got that I can contact. Anyway, I had a contact at the Met Police who done work with me previously for county line stuff that I do, and I'd spoken to them about the film. The Met Police were on board. You know, they were saying, you know, okay, might be able to make this work, and they were able to give funds to make up the rest of the amount that we were missing, which was great. I remember the day texting Richard saying, you know what, we're good to go, you know. And I guess he must have been happy because he's thinking, you know what, okay, bro, this is it. This is where it starts. So we had the money, and then Richard's doing his thing with his team, organizing locations and all these different things. I'm speaking to people at locations as well and so forth. Roll on to October, half term, we began filming in the middle of lockdown. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, it was crazy. We had to adhere to all the regulations and make sure people were testing all these different things and temperature control and all this stuff. But Richard's team was amazing. The actors were amazing. The cast and crew, everybody was just amazing. And I thank God Almighty, to be honest with you, for orchestrating everything, you know, to make this happen. So yeah, I'm really thankful.
Amen. It's amazing. It's amazing that like the community got behind this and the Met Police got behind this, because they've obviously seen the heart and the objective behind it. So Leo, can you tell us a bit more? I know that your heart is really for this film to bring about change. So what change and impact do you hope that it's bringing at the minute and will still bring?
No, thank you for that question. That means a lot to me, because as you're speaking, it's like touching my heart, because there has to be a reason why I've done this film. Like, there's nothing that I do in this life that doesn't have a purpose. Like, there has to be a reason for it. I'm not in for the money. I spoke to some of my young people today at school, and they were gassing me. They were like, sir, we saw your film. This is like people from year 7 to year like 11, and they were loving it. They said, we love the film. The film's so good. Sir, how much P you making, sir? How much P you making, sir? That's what they kept telling me. They're just asking me how much P am I making. I'm like, listen, I'm not making a single penny. I said, everything that was made, that was given for the film, went in the film. I'm not making any money. And I said, you know what? My heart is that it would impact this generation and beyond. I want people to watch it and not try to pick out the faults of the film, but watch the message of the film. I'm not concerned with how many views. I'm more concerned with how many people it impacts. That's really my remit. And I want people to see it and be changed by it. I got a guy that basically messaged me. He just come out of prison, and this is an adult prison, by the way. I went to an adult prison in Nottingham, and I told this story verbally before the film was even made. These were like 30-year-olds, 40-year-olds, 50-year-olds doing big time birds. Yeah, they were doing big birds. And this guy just came out of prison. He messaged me on Instagram. He said to me, you know what, Ra, I can't believe you've done a film. Like, you came to the prison, you delivered it, and now you've got a film. And he's like 35, 36. And I know he was impacted by it. But how much more the younger generation who watch it, who've got so much of their life ahead of them, that can make better choices. So I'm going into schools to do step back workshops and to try and really talk about different themes. I know Xavien's going to try and come alongside me as well to do a few of those. And yeah, the hope is that the message will get out there that you have choices no matter what your situation or background. And some things are down to you. Not everything, by the way, but some things. So I'm hoping this film could be like an avenue that could bring about change, a seed of hope be sown into the hearts of many.
Amazing, amazing. Thank you, Leo. Last question before we go to our competition. So you're head of the year. So this is another miracle as well, because you just took on a new role as head of the year just before you started this process, which is amazing. But I believe that the boys from your school were able to take part in this movie. So it must have been an amazing opportunity. I can just imagine that they were so excited to be taking part in this. So talk to me about their response, the ones that were taking part in it.
Yeah, man. They let me use the word that the young boys use. They were gassed. They didn't know at first what they were getting into, but now they're seeing the amount of people that's viewing it, that's watching it. They're gassed. And the thing is, I'm so proud of those ones who turned up that day to film with us at the school, and to be able to use the school as well, their badge, the logo, all of these different things. That's again a miracle. Not all schools allow that, by the way, but there's some favor that we had with that. And I'm really proud of the boys. I'm so proud of them. And that filled my heart with joy. So yeah, I'm really happy for them. And, you know, I tried to be a father to these guys, you know, and I had my sons on the film, and that was amazing. Yeah.
Oh, that's great. That's so good to hear. I can just imagine, because, you know, this week has been the first week back to school. So I can imagine the buzz, and I'm sure they're all coming up to you going, "Sir, I watched the movie." I can just imagine it. Okay, so now competition time. I am sure you're excited. So I have got 2 questions for you, and you've got to get your fingers ready, and you might have to get your search buttons ready, because this first question is very difficult. And this first question, I'm going to get Leo to show it again, what the prize is. So I'm not even going to try to explain these football boots, because I know nothing about football, but I'm told that these are very snazzy football boots, and the first prize will be going to the first person to answer this question. There's 2 parts to this question. So are you ready? Get your fingers at the ready. Leo, do you want to say anything else about the prize?
Yeah, basically they're size 9.5, and they are Puma Ultra 1.1 FG. Yeah. So these are big boy trainers, big boy boots, and they're courtesy of SV2. If you don't know about SV2, go and look him up on YouTube. He's giving that to us to give away today. Yeah.
Amazing, amazing. Okay, so here is the question that I would not be able to answer, but I'm sure many of you out there will be able to answer this question. So when Marcus went back in time in 2017, so obviously you've had to have watched a Step Back movie film to answer this question. So those of you who are fans, who I'm seeing in the chat, actually lots of people are going, "I absolutely love Step Back." So amazing. Thank you for all the fans out there. So there was a footballer who was there watching Marcus play football. Okay. What was his real name? So the real name of the person, the footballer who was there watching Marcus play. And also the second part to the question is, what team does he support? Or what team was he from?
What team does he play for?
What team does he play for? See, I nearly got it wrong. Okay, so you have to be able to answer both of those questions in order to win these football boots. Okay. Second question, which is a bit easier, and it is the second question is for a Step Back hoodie. So you have the chance to win a Step Back hoodie. What was the real name of Marcus's football coach? Okay, so I'm seeing that there's questions going, there's answers going up there after, or at the minute in the chat. I'm going to be announcing the winner at the very end. So I'm going to be going on now to interview the rest of the cast. Okay, so get ready. First person I am going to interview is Xavien. So let me give you Xavien Russell. So Xavien, if you want to turn your camera on, thank you. So Xavien is an actor from East London. He's acted in Watchmen, Drawn Out, Stationery, Clearing, Justice, and other high-profile films such as Top Boy. Now, I think a lot of people know him from Top Boy, and I'm seeing around social media such a buzz about about Marcus coming back to life. So everybody that's watched Step Back is like, no, Michael and Top Boy, they're like, he's resurrected. So tell us, tell us about that, Xavien. What was it like getting that response, that everybody seeing you come back to life, first of all?
It was very funny still, because a lot of people were like shocked, and then you had like some people that were like, finally, like he's back from the dead, you know. So it's great, but it's all positive responses anyway. And yeah, it's a good feeling to know that people to this day they still recognize me from 10 years ago, a decade ago. So yeah, I'm really happy, like privileged.
Amazing. Okay, so I heard that when you first heard about Step Back and being involved in it and being the lead role, so you were the lead actor playing Marcus, and you weren't so sure. Yeah. I want to ask you why that.
No, I wasn't.
And why you changed your mind.
Well, like as Leo was telling you a little bit about it, he's the one that actually approached me about the movie, and the way it was presented to me at first, he just like basically just DM'd me. So, and there wasn't much that he could give away. So from what I got, it was just like, I've kind of like seen this before, sort of thing. And I'm like, because I've done Top Boy already, it's sort of around that life as well. So I was really trying to do something different. But see, Leo here, the magician, he wasn't trying to let out the source that he had behind the scenes. So he messaged me, and then I didn't get back to him because I was like, I don't know if I'm going to do it. Let me just message him tomorrow and tell him that it's a no. And then tomorrow turned into 2 days turned into 2 weeks, whatever. Also, Richard messaged me first as well. So, and then, yeah, fast forward a couple of weeks later, he was just like, yo, we need to tap in, do a Zoom call so I can actually like talk to you about this, basically from top to bottom, like let you know what the rundown is. So I was like, yeah, all right, cool. So we get to the interview, and he's just telling me about the story, and the way he's telling me is just like he's living through it himself. So as he's telling me about the story, I'm just going through all these scenes in my head, and I'm just like, sort of like I'm getting sort of chills at certain moments. And he's telling me about like these wide range of like emotions that the character goes through, and I like obviously to play characters that go through wide ranges of emotions. So, and then he let out the secret sauce of like he goes back in time. And me personally, like I love films that's to do with like time, travel, time, space-time continuum, things like that. So yeah, no, I was definitely on board after that.
Okay, great. So how different was this working on this movie compared to the like of Top Boy and the other projects you've worked on?
It was similar in many ways, actually. I guess one thing that was different about it is that this is the first film that I've done in COVID. So that was like kind of different for me, even though that we got along with it very well, kind of seamlessly, really. Another thing is that this is my first main role. So this is why I'm happy to actually that I accepted this role, because it was my first main role. So it's a chance for me, it's like to step up to the plate and actually show what I got. And how else was it different?
What about the narrative?
I don't know, just different actors. Working with the different, when you work with different actors, everyone's different. But I liked working with the cast and the crew. Everyone's got good vibes as well. So yeah,
great.
That's pretty much it.
Okay, so tell me about playing the lead role of Marcus, and how could you relate to his character?
Well, first of all, like if you haven't seen the movie, or if you have, like Marcus is basically, he's a teenager that's going through some trouble, just like any other teenager that grows up. And you know, he has something there. He has a talent there that he kind of chooses to ignore because, you know, just life that he's living with his friends and stuff like that. So he's a bit unruly, a bit hot-headed, but at the same time, he looks out for his people. And yeah, like he's very like, what's the word? Determined to get whatever he wants, sort of thing. And I'm a person that's determined to get whatever I want as well. So that's where I draw from it. And also as well, like with my previous role in Top Boy, the character Michael was kind of like they had similar things about them that I just kind of drew from that and kind of recycled it and changed it into something different. And yeah, no, it was like a blessing, seriously, to get this role, because going back in time and playing different ages like that, I saw that as like a challenge for me as well. And that's definitely like why I kind of jumped on it. I was keen to do it. So yeah, no, I loved doing that. I love preparing for the role as well. It was good.
Yeah. Okay, last question for you. So how do you feel about the film doing so well, and also about people's response to it, and also about it being selected for this film festival?
Yeah, no, first of all, shout out to everyone that's in this chat. I forgot to say that. Shout out to everyone that's watched the film as well. I really appreciate you. It's a blessing to do my craft and to show other people as well. To be honest, I really didn't go into this coming up to release day. I didn't really go into this with any expectations. Like, I didn't really think, oh, this is how much views it's gonna get. Things like that. Like, I just want, like Leo said, I just wanted it to do something and impact at least like one person if something's better than nothing. So, excuse me, pardon me. Sorry, what was the question again? That better threw me right off.
So how do you feel about it doing so well? Basically the success of it, and about it being selected for the film festival.
Yeah, so I'm getting great feedback from it as well, just as well as like the role that I played, like the story, the message behind it as well. So even my grandma, she even called me up and was like, I watched your film, it's got a good message. So it's like, from time she's getting it, and that's the thing as well, like it captivates everyone from different ages. And I guess like Leo was saying, he showed it to like a 30-year-old and he liked it and he gravitated towards it. It's like the difficulty is like it's kind of harder to actually impact the younger youth than it is to impact someone that's older, in my opinion, because it's like they've already got to a stage where they've already been through it and they've already questioning themselves, like thinking about what they could have done. Whereas the young kids now, they're still in that beginning stage where they've got the different paths to choose from. So I think it's kind of harder to get to them and get the story like impact them basically. So I just hope that everyone learns from it. And how I feel about it getting on the film festival, that's amazing. Like I was just telling Leo the other day, YouTube is just the beginning. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just sky's the limit right now. I'm thankful to be on MIM another time. I think like this is like my third time. Every time I go on there, I guess history is made, magic is done. So yeah, like I said, being on YouTube is just the beginning, and I can't wait to see the heights that we reached to as well.
Amen. Okay, I'm going to go to Angie in a minute, but first of all, let me go to Richard and just say, Richard, how do you feel about the success of the film?
I feel great. I honestly feel great. I think, again, bouncing off what everyone said as well. It was a thing where when we did it, it was just more of a, okay, cool, I think Leo was a little bit more concerned about how well it was going to do. I'm just going to be honest and tell you what it is. Leo was concerned of how it was going to do. So, I mean, for it to get to where it's getting to right now, it means that it's reaching a lot more people and it's impacting a lot more people as well. So that was the aim for this project. And I'm guessing, Leo, you're 100% happy with that. And I'm guessing the whole production and everyone involved are happy with that as well. So, yeah.
Okay, great. Okay, so I'm going to introduce Angie Le Mar, who was born in South London in Lewisham. So I'm sure there's lots of fans out there from South London. She's a British comedian. She's an actor. She's a writer. She's a director, producer, and she's married with 3, I don't think children, but she's got, 3 children.
They're children.
They're children. Okay, so Angie, how are you? It's really good to see you again.
I'm well, thank you. Good to speak to you again. And thank you everyone for joining us tonight. It's really an honour and a privilege to be here tonight.
Okay, so Angie, first question, how is this different from the projects that you've worked on before?
It's very different, it's truly was a great experience. And, it took me out of my comfort zone. And when Leo sent me the script, and I kind of read it quickly. And at that time I was like, I got so much on, and this project might not be the one for me. And I remember saying to Leo, I don't know, I don't think this one's for me. And he called me back and he said, you need to read it again, because you're going to do it, basically. And I kept thinking to myself, this guy's quite cheeky.
He's persistent.
So, and I kind of read it in detail and just kind of thought about it and just sat with it for a while and thought, it's step back. The amount of times I've spoken to children and spoken to young people, and they've said to me, if I could go back in time, if I could change, if I just went that way instead of going that way, I could have just never got myself into a situation. And, for myself, when I was young at school, I made some decisions that I could have thought about again if I had chance to do it all again. So for me, then I said, okay, Leo, this is it. I'm in, I'm really excited. And, one of the best decisions I made.
Great. So Angie, you played the mother, you played the Marcus's mother. So how could you relate to playing the mother in this role?
Oh, absolutely. Just the speaking and the language and just I've got 3 children, 2 boys and a girl. And it just, my middle child was at that age in that young people when you're trying to get them on the straight and narrow. So it was very real to me, very real to me. And constantly I'm working with young people and their parents. And I'm a parent saying to them, your mum means well, your dad means well, because this is what we're going through. We're worried. And, so I really could relate to it. It was just like a family, and working with such great actors. We had so much fun on set. It was like they were my children, really, So for me, it was just a great experience, and one that I recognized really well, more than I could imagine.
Great. So since the film has came out, what conversations has it invoked?
Well, the funniest thing, I've been in the business for over 35 years. Wow. And now I'm walking down the street and young people are stopping me going, oh, I saw that film that you was in still. I saw that film. And I'm like, after all the work that I've done, they're like, now you're seeing me. My next door neighbors were just like, Angie, that message was so powerful, I had to pass it on. I sat down with my son and watched it. So people are telling me that they're sitting down as a duty to watch this film, to say, look, rather than wait till you make that decision, try and step back, because watch this film. And it's resonating. So to walk on the street and kind of have another new audience stopping you saying, I saw your film still, I kind of liked it. That makes me feel good, because then I stand and I'm talking and I'm like, yeah, well, that's just cool still,
That's great.
I'll embarrass my children.
Okay, last question for you. So basically at the start of this week, we celebrated International Women's Day. Big up for all the women out there who are watching.
Yeah.
So working alongside younger actors such as Vanessa, who we're going to come to in a minute, how important is it for you to champion and elevate the younger generation?
Oh, it's absolutely important. And, working along Vanessa, brilliant young girl, in so many levels, she does so many different things. It's like, just watching an absolute star. And so for me, working alongside someone like Vanessa and young people, their experience with me must be a great experience, because, we are here to inspire, we are here to touch souls, we are here to be able to make them feel like, you can, and we've got your back. I used to run a stage school, and what I did in my school was just say, look, you've got to learn to express yourself, learn to write, learn to be in this business, learn to produce, learn to be behind the scenes so that you can make your own way. And right now, young people have got their own avenue. Like, we're sitting on this platform now, brilliant platform. We weren't waiting for permission to get it out there. It's out there. And, thousands have watched it. There's going to be more than a handful of people whose lives have changed. And, we did that as a team, and that's a great experience. So it's so important that we inspire young people and we bring them on board and we give them a good experience, most definitely.
Great, amen. I love that. So now I'm going to introduce Vanessa Sam. So Vanessa played Marcus's sister. She's an actor, she's a model, she's an influencer, she's a photographer, writer, director, and radio presenter. Vanessa, you are my hero because you are so busy. I just keep seeing on Instagram, inspiring Vanessa interview is going live. You must go live every single day. You put in the work, girl.
Yeah, I mean, I started doing the Instagram live interviews during lockdown, and usually there'd be like weeks where I'd do them every single day, and it didn't really feel like much work because social interaction was literally just what I was craving in the beginning of quarantining. But now I do them, I think, like every Tuesday, because sometimes they can get a bit overwhelming nowadays.
Yeah, you're such an inspiration, such an inspiration. So my first question to you is that you were so excited to play the role. Why is that?
I think it's like one of my first big kind of like acting projects. It was my first short film, so I think it was one really exciting just overall to just think about being on set with all like the crew and the cast and everything. But I think the biggest thing for me when I went to the audition, it was more after the audition actually. My mum was reading through the email when we got it through when I was learning my lines beforehand, and she was like, it's like filming for a week. And for some reason, that just completely got me even more excited. And whenever you audition for a role, you send in a self-tape, it's like you can't kind of set yourself up for things if you're gonna have a big setback, kind of, if that makes sense. So I was trying not to kind of get too excited about it just in case they picked somebody else. But I think a few weeks later I got the email back saying that they wanted me for Morgan, and it was just the most surreal kind of feeling, and I was super excited when I found out who the other cast members would be. So I'm just overall grateful that Richard and Leo saw the potential in me to bring out the role.
Great. So how's it been going back to school? And has there been much conversation about the film? What kind of conversations has it invoked as well among peers?
Funny enough, I actually haven't been back to school this week. I'm actually going back tomorrow. I don't know why they're making our year 10, our year group going in on a Friday. But I've had a few kind of weird conversations online and with my friends or something. I think somebody said to me they thought that they asked me, they're like, oh, so are you guys actually like siblings? Are you guys like actually is that actually your mum? Is that actually your brother? And I was like, no, I guess they just casted us really well for your act and seem like an actual family. But I think there's been a lot of great feedback from my peers at school, so I'm very grateful for that. Overall, my school has been really supportive, and they actually sent out the link to like the whole school on a Friday, so that was really fun as well. So I'm just overall grateful for the support, but I'll definitely get back to you to tell you about the conversations that I'm going to have tomorrow, perhaps.
Okay. Great. So what change do you hope that this film brings about to your generation? So what change do you hope having those conversations will invoke?
I mean, the meaning of step back has so many like different meanings after you watch the film. So I guess more like kind of connecting the dots backwards is what I really think the beauty of it is. So after you finish watching and you're kind of scrolling through the credits and you're like, okay, let's kind of put everything together so it makes even more sense to us and you really get the deeper meaning of things. But it's obviously stepping back in time, also stepping back from situations. And I think it's just so impactful that we need to understand that everything happens for a reason, that our choices, or whatever we do, that all leads up to a certain scenario or situation. You meet a person for a reason and they teach you something for a reason. So I think the biggest thing that I think people should take back from this film is to just learn, obviously, one, to step back from situations and to think about what choices we're going to make and where that could potentially take us.
Absolutely. Great. Thank you, Vanessa. Last but not least, Ange-Marcel. Hello, how are you?
I'm fantastic, thank you. How you doing?
Good. So Ange is an up-and-coming actor who hopes to bring something new to the industry. So I look forward to hearing about that. He has starred in some music videos. He's also starred in an Adidas and Foot Locker advertisement. So Angie, how did you find playing the role James, Marcus's best friend?
It was fun because I think I found it mostly easy because I just had to bounce off Xavien. So whatever he did, I just bounced off him. So it was just easier to work that way. It's actually kind of exciting when you have someone that you're able to like just vibe with instead of just having to act like you like them. You're actually liking them offset as well. But yeah, it was really fun and actually good to be in there. I'm actually blessed to be in there as well.
Okay, great. So friendships are very important. Okay, so being a best friend to somebody, they can influence you, they can support you. So tell me a little bit about your role and how important it is. How can you relate to young people being influenced from their friends, whether that's good influence or bad influence?
Okay, so as I'm sure you've heard it before, you're sort of like, it says, show me your friends, I'll tell you who you are, or something. Literally, your friends are who you are. So if you're hanging around with the wrong crowd, that everyone else is just going to assume that you're doing that same thing, whether you're doing it or not. As a way of life, they're not going to see you first, they're going to see whoever you put in front of them. So if you see someone that's doing something good, they're just going to assume everyone that he's around must be good as well. So the more you surround yourself around success, that's the only thing that can come around you. Yeah.
Okay. Great, thank you. Okay, we're now going to get on to the questions from the audience. So let me just see what we've got here. I'm going to try to answer as many questions as possible. So from Young Yards, big up to Young Yards, the first person for getting the question in there. What is your hope for the youth to understand by this? So what is your hope for the youth? So what do you hope they will understand by the film, I think he is trying to say. So Leo, do you want to answer that?
Yeah, I'll try and answer that. Yeah, thank you for the question. I really want people to understand the power of their choices. I think me growing up as well, I made a lot of wrong choices, like a lot. And I had to learn the hard way with some of my decisions. And with the position that I'm in now and the things I get to do, I'm actually saying to the young people through like the film is that, listen, just look at what you're doing and look at the impact of it. Step back from that situation. Look what could happen, because the film demonstrates that things are a ripple effect. It isn't just one person it affects lots of different people around you. So I think if people can understand that, don't just react in that moment. It's not just about, listen, I want people to understand that it's not just about the gang members or those who are in gangs. This is about everyday choices. This is about my GCSEs. Let me step back from my GCSEs. Let me step back and see what subjects I should choose. I may not be into football, but I might be into playing a piano, or I might be into creative arts. It's just saying, why don't I just pursue my talents that I've got and go down that route, as opposed to making the wrong decision and making my life harder at getting to my point of my destiny a lot longer. So I think for me, I just want them to try and make better choices for their lives, and hopefully it will impact them in a greater way, where they'll say, yeah, I remember I watched one film I watched a film one time, yeah, step back. Yeah, it was decent. It helped me to figure out some things in my own life. And I've had messages like that sent to me. And that's really what I want from this film. And I believe that all of us involved, the whole team, want the same as well.
That's great. Okay, we've got a question that I think I'm going to direct to Richard. So this is from 9 Target 1. How long does it typically take to produce a short film?
Yeah, thanks for the question. It depends on the short film. It could be a 5-page short film. It could be a 10-page short film. Could be 30, so on. With Step Back, for instance, it was a 28-page. Yeah, I'd say about 28 pages. So that took us a week to film. In most cases, I think ideally we would like to spread that out a little bit more. But again, we had a tight schedule, which needed to happen over half term, which was over 7 days. So it varies. It depends on the short that you're working with. Some shorts you can shoot in literally a day, and some could be weeks. So it just depends.
Okay, great, thank you. I think I'm going to ask this one to Angie. So how do you get into the acting industry? That is from Albert.
Well, I think you can get into it in so many different ways right now. You can go the route of drama school. You can go the route of workshops. You can go the route of just doing, online courses. There's so many different ways now. One of the ways I would really recommend is going to theatres, going to a theatre and starting with the youth drama and getting that experience through theatre, because you do so much workshops through there and you learn the background of theatre. You learn the writing, you learn the producing, you learn how the stagecraft, you learn so much from the theatre. And if you understand why a lot of our Black actors are getting work in America, the one thing that we have is that we learn about the layers. We do the depth, we do the deep work when we're doing the breakdown of a script. And the Americans kind of like see us as, you know, the royalty of actors and how we do our work. So I think that's the good way of learning how to get into the acting, is the theatre. Because when you're on stage, people come and see you and they say, I saw you in this play, I saw you in this production, and do everything. You know, do the short films, do the extra work, be around it, because you could be in a situation where somebody's looking for somebody and you're just there doing a small job and that turns into a big job. You know, be around it and make sure that you stick with it. Don't give up. It is a hard business. And learn to write. The power is in the pen. Writing your story, getting it down, filming it. Social media is really big right now. If you want to do audition pieces, do monologues. Do small monologues and put them on social media and just send them to different casting directors. Monologues are one of the best ways to get through to people very quickly.
It's great. Thank you, Angie. That's a lot of amazing advice there. Okay, so Faith has got a question. I think I'm going to direct this to Leo. So she says, many youth today have assemblies about knife crime and some of it does not sink in. However, do you think that your short film will definitely have an impact on youth? So maybe, Leo, you want to expand on what your hope is now, what you're doing among schools at the minute with this film.
Yeah, thank you for the question. I can't guarantee that the film will impact lives. That's something I can't guarantee. But what I can do is do things outside of the film to complement it. So I'm basically speaking to a lot of schools and even people that work in the youth justice about going in and screening the film, but then also running workshops alongside it. So I've designed a workshop that will cover different themes within the film. So not just about gangs, but about family, about the importance of choices, about the consequences of using a knife, having a criminal record, how hard it is to get a job. Just some real basic things that can help young people understand. And talking about, you know, Xavien, Marcus's journey when he goes back in time, you know, the choice and why did that happen and what did you notice different? Just trying to invoke some thoughts and feelings. So we've got some schools booked up. There's things booked in the diary for the next couple of months. Diary's looking kind of crazy right now. And they're all free. It's free workshops and free screenings. So don't think I'm going out there making money, people, because I'm not. But my hope is that, you know, that it will reach out far across the UK, but also across the globe. So it's on YouTube. It's a platform that reaches across the world. So you never know how this thing will go. But at the moment, I'm so pleased with the response. So yeah, I hope that answers your question.
Great. Xavien, this is a question that has been directed to you from Danny. Danny wants to ask you, what would you advise to an actor struggling with confidence issues?
Shout out to Danny. What would I advise? First of all, just like getting to know yourself more. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, it's when you're acting, you're playing different characters, but some characters is where you find that you're drawing from yourself. So get to know yourself a little bit more. Just like be in tune with yourself, really. Also, practice. A lot of practice. Practice makes perfect. Do you get what I'm saying? So, and try to work with others as much as you can. The more you work with more people, I feel like the more comfortable you become until it becomes natural to you. Because for me, this is something that just feels natural to me. So this is why I do it. And also just know that if you keep working and you put the work in, that there's light at the end of the tunnel. And it's not hard. It's not hard. It's really not hard. When you put your mind to it, you can do it. And just overall, I would say, like, I don't know, Hakuna Matata, like, don't have no worries, basically.
Great, thank you. So Young Yards has got another question. And I think this is to Leo. He's asking, is there an experience that you had specifically that inspired you to make this story?
That's a really good question. I've not been asked that question. I think I would say I've had a lot of experiences, and I've been around some things like knives and all those sort of things. And I wasn't in a gang, but I knew people who were in gangs. I was in the proximity of those who were in gangs. And I, you know, from me seeing how life can go, I had friends who went jail. I didn't go jail, but I had friends who went jail. I had friends who got caught up in more than I did, and whose lives have gone a different way. And I just really have a passion for saying, you know what, let us older ones, so to speak, show the younger ones that there is a cost to the choices we make. That's what I really feel. And I think young yards, like, big up yourself. Yeah, I see the things you're writing in there. This Donny's good with speeches and all that. I see you, bro. I see you. But you know what? I just want to say that your questions are wonderful. Yeah, because you're asking deep questions. And I think for me, if I just say one thing, is that there's not one experience that I've gone through that helped to make this film. It's multiple experiences from when I was born to now. You know, I lost my father when I was 2 years old. He died, mental health issues. He took his own life. Then I got involved in stuff later on. I did this, I did that. I did some crime here and there, blah, 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 drug dealing, all these different kind of things. So I was involved in some stuff. Then I became a Christian, gave my life to God, and everything changed and my purpose changed. And then it rolled on to, like, however old I am. I'm not going to tell you, by the way. But, you know, I got to this point now.
I can tell you.
No, you better not. We'll fall out. And, you know, and now I think it's a culmination of experiences, things that you've seen, things that you've heard, that will make you do what you do now. So I hope that helps answer your question.
Great. Okay, this is one from Manza. If you could film again, would you do anything different? I guess Richard could answer that as well.
So what was the question again?
If you could film it again, would you do anything different?
Yes, I would. I think it's more to do with the dynamic movements of the shots. I think essentially it's just more. I wish we had more handheld. No, not handheld, but more like what's that word? Dolly shots, crane shots, drone shots. Just loads of more technical stuff, because there was an idea that I had in my head. Again, we had to work with our means, but if I had those things, then I think Step Back will probably be more than what it is at the moment. So that's what I'll do differently.
Great. So that's an answer to all of those techie people out there, who will understand that a lot better. Okay. So somebody's asking, Levi Bent is asking, how did you cast?
So should I answer that, Leo? Or? Yeah, so I think with the casting, again, Leo more or less spearheaded finding the main actors, which was the main character, the mom, and also whoever's going to be playing the supporting actor as well. Unfortunately, we lost supporting actor. We had Ange-Marcel, who came on and obviously killed it. But with the whole casting process, we had to go through the conventional casting route in terms of putting out a casting call, getting people to audition for roles, you know, turning people down, you know, getting people to try other things here and there. So I mean, essentially, it was just us trying to get as much authentic characters as possible. So yeah, we just basically did the most traditional way of casting, which was basically just putting out a casting call and then just getting people to audition for roles that they wanted to audition for.
Okay, great. One last. Do you want to take one last question?
That's absolutely fine.
Okay, one last question. So this was from Yards again, who said, what did you achieve your goals in making this? And what goals do you have for the future?
Okay. What is that? Young ads, yeah?
Yeah. He's asking all the deep questions tonight.
young yads. Well on, young yads. Did I achieve my goals, and what are we looking to achieve in the future?
Yeah.
I I think I would like to believe that we did achieve our goal in terms of turning Leo's vision that went from here's an idea to handing over to Temi, who basically wrote the script, and then bringing it back to the production house, and then we more or less created the visual representation of Leo's story. And with what he's doing at the moment, I strongly believe that we've actually achieved what we needed to achieve. And Justin, I would like to believe that you feel the same way too.
We definitely did, most likely.
That's my trusted AD. So so 100% achieved what we needed to achieve. And in the future, what we are aiming for as Little Drops Production is to be sort of the just want to create more films that basically will impact a lot of people. Just get people knowing that this is what we're known for. This is what we're good at. So that's us.
Okay, great. Okay, so any last comments from Leo, from any of the cast before we announce the winners? Any closing thoughts?
Go watch the film if you haven't watched it yet.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, thank you for everyone for tuning in. Really appreciate you, sir.
Yeah, same as what everyone has said as well. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you so much for watching the film. Thank you so much for sharing it. I'm more or less kind of like trying to echo what Leo's probably going to say, but yeah, just thanks everyone for watching the film. Thanks everyone for sharing it. Thanks everyone for let's just keep pushing, man, because again, Leo's put so much hard work into this. Everyone in this team or in the production have put so much hard work into it. So it's good to see that people are actually acknowledging and understanding, and they're actually enjoying the film. So yeah, that's from me.
Just keep sharing the link everywhere to your friends and family. If you obviously know that the message has impacted you to some degree, just share the link that more people can watch it as well.
And I would say, just for young people, that it's never too late. We come from different backgrounds and we have different things. We make poor decisions and then we turn things around. People have difficult lives and still turn it around, and it's never over. No one's sitting here going, oh, we've come this route. We've all come from different places, different backgrounds, but we take the bow at the same time. So anything you want to do in life, you can do it, and you can dream it, you can achieve it. So I wish you all the best, and keep sharing.
Yes, Mum. Tell them, Mum. Yes,
Tell
Mum.
them. Before we go into the next section, can I just take time out to shout out my Instagram, please? Xavien Russell 0. All right, that's Xavien Russell 0, all one word. Is it?
Young plugs, yeah?
The plugs.
Come on.
Nah, I just a very, very, very quickly. This was very much a team effort. None of this would have been possible without the team. And there's no I in team. I believe that's the saying. And as much as people say I made this film, it's my debut film and so forth, I couldn't have done it without these guys. And I appreciate Richard as well a lot, actually, because he showed me some things I just didn't know. I didn't know anything about filmmaking. I didn't know where to start. I didn't know anything. But Richard showed me some things. Being on set with him and his team, going through this whole process has helped me to learn a lot more about filmmaking. And I just wanted to shout you, Richard, yeah? Big up your chest for that, yeah? And your team, Jocelyn, the whole team, yeah? Because these lot smashed it.
Love, man.
Love, all the time. Love to all the actors, yeah? You lot smashed it. Now, I'm not going to get emotional now, but you lot smashed it. And the whole team just really killed it. And now you lot are supporting the film. Like the ones watching this today, you lot are supporting the film. You don't even know who I am. You know Xavien, but you don't know me. Do you get what I'm saying? He's the top boy guy, the Michael guy, the front of the balcony guy.
Right.
I'm just Leo from round the way. Do you get what I'm saying? But I just wanted to say thank you so much. It really means a lot. Let's push to a mill. Let's get this thing going. Let's push it to a mill. We'll keep entering festivals. We'll keep getting the film the recognition it deserves, so everybody can have a platform. That Xavien gets more roles, that Vanessa gets more roles, that Angie gets more. I know she's probably got loads going on. That Richard has more films to do. That Ange gets more stuff to do. That you get more stuff to host, Judith. Yeah? And then maybe I can get some funds to maybe make some more films. Do you get what I'm saying? But thank you so much for having us, man. It's been amazing.
No worries, man. Nice one.
Hi, thank you guys.
Thank you.
So,
Thank you for having us.
I want to ask one very, very last question, Leo, and then I'm going to introduce the prize winners. So if anybody wants to get in touch with you, Leo, in terms of if they want to follow up, so the presentation, so if you are like, for instance, somebody who's like a youth worker or a school teacher or educator, how do they get in touch with you?
Yeah, you could just hit me up on my Instagram. Here goes the plug. I wasn't going to plug my Instagram, but ask me the question. I promise I weren't going to. I'm not like that. But it's just my name, at Leo Powell. Like if you have anything that you want to inquire, or you can email me at contact@leopowell.co.uk. Feel free to get in touch. And yeah, thank you.
Hey, let me plug myself too then.
Might as well. Everyone might as well do it.
Listen,
Everybody
just follow. It's very
set the tone.
simple. Just follow my production company, Little Drops Production, on Instagram. If you want to follow me as well, it's Richard E. Kattah. Yeah, man. Everyone might as well plug themselves, innit?
Yo, man, just my name and it's just right there.
I love the family support. Angie?
All
Plug yourself.
Ange Le Mar everywhere, all social media. Ange Le Mar.
On TikTok as well.
I'm not on TikTok. I'm not going on TikTok.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, let's have a drum roll, everybody, for the winners. So for the boots, we have got official DC3. So whoever official DC3 is, you are the winner of these lovely boots. And for the hoodie, I hope I say this name properly, we have got Junior Bucchete. I think that's right. So well done, guys.
Well done.
Well done.
I know some of these guys are well gel regarding these boots. I know Xavien was eyeing them up. I seen him eyeing them up. So well done, official DC3. Okay, so I'm just going to close off and say thank you so much for joining us. Thank you for staying with us. Thank you to all of you guys, the actors. Thank you, Leo. Thank you, Richard. It's lovely to meet you all again. And yeah, follow on social media. Follow Step Back. There's a soundtrack as well. And yeah, have a nice rest of your evening, guys.
See you
Bye,
guys.
everyone.
See you, everyone. See ya. Thank you so much. See ya.
Thank you for having us, man. Thank you for
All right,
watching. That's up.
Are we done now? Are we still live?
Is the beat on?
If we're still live, this is the outtakes.
Then what? Okay, well, yeah, I'm gonna bounce now.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, everyone. I'm lovely seeing everyone again, man.
Come on,
Lovely
man.
seeing everyone again.
It's all.